This is release question number 102 for CAHSEE Math. It says the owner of an apple orchard ships apples in boxes that weigh 2 kilograms, or kg, when empty. The average apple weighs 0.25 kilograms, and the total weight of a box filled with apples is 12 kilograms. How many apples are packed in each box? So let's think of it like this. We know our empty box plus the apples is going to be the filled box. You can think of it like that. And so the empty box, it weighs 2 kilograms, it says. I'm just going to put 2 for now. Instead of putting 2 kg, I'm just going to make my equation look cleaner without the units for right now. And then the apples, we're going to call those, why don't we call those A? So let's put a little lowercase a. I'm going to put a little curl at the end of my A so it doesn't look like a 9. And so how many of these apples do we have? Well, we don't know. That's why we're calling it A. That's my variable I'm trying to solve for. And I do know, though, that each one weighs 0.25 kilograms. So I'm going to have 0.25 times however many apples I have, times A. The filled box, it says it's filled with apples. That is 12, sorry, not 10, but 12 kilograms. So now it's a matter of solving this for A. Could I use X instead of A? Sure. I just went with A for apples, though. So if I subtract 12, that's where I was thinking of 10. That's where the 10 comes in. This would go away here and here. I'd have 0.25 times my number of apples is going to equal 10. And if I divide by 0.25, that can be a little tricky to think of without a calculator. But if I divide by 0.25, that gets rid of that there and there. That's the same thing as saying you have 10 divided by 1/4. I could write it like that. So that's another way to write that. But another way to write that as well would be to just take my decimal points and move them over 2 spots. So I could say this is the same thing as if I move this over 2 spots and I move this over 2 spots. I'm going to be filling in a 0 and a 0 there. That would be the same thing as what you see there. So this would become 1,000 over 25. And so if that wasn't clear to you what that was, you could think of how many quarters go into $10. I think that's the easiest way to think about this one. But sometimes the thought of money doesn't always work. And so we should know how to do that. If you said 40 quarters go into $10, yeah, that's right. You're doing the right thing there. You're thinking about it correctly. But let's say that wasn't obvious to you, or you didn't remember to do that. Think of this instead. So how many times does 25 go into 10? It doesn't. How many times does 25 go into 100? That's 4 times. So this subtract 100, and we'd be left with 0. There's nothing left, so we'd have a 0 here. My answer would be right here as 40. So A, you'd have 40 apples. That is choice B. So 102, choice B.